Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and welcome back to Elite Dangerous on the PlayStation 4. Today I'm going to continue with my progress with the Dweller. Now in the previous video I actually unlocked him. All that remains now is to give him 500,000 credits, and I've got enough of them to easily manage that. But what I want to do is head on out and collect the materials necessary to do my first few upgrades. So that's what I'm going to do today, and we're going to take a bit of a look at how we can go about doing all of that. Right, so this is the Inara website, that's inara.cz, or CZ I guess, depending on where you're from. And from here you can find out all sorts of information about, well, pretty much everything. One thing that it's very good for is engineers and their blueprints. So we're looking at the Dweller today. We unlocked him in the other video a little while ago. So we're going to come here to the engineers, looking at the Dweller, and over here we can see what blueprints he's got access to. So the Dweller can give us up to grade 3 on beam lasers. He can give us up to grade 3 on burst lasers. He can give us up to grade 4 on pulse lasers, and he can give us up to grade 5 on power distributors. So he's actually the best engineer in the game for power distributors, or one of the best. So what do we want? Well, we actually want 3 things from him. We do want to upgrade our power distributor, and I'll have a look at that in just a moment. Not quite sure what one I'll actually go with, but I also want to improve my beam laser as well as my pulse laser. Now we're going to go for an efficient beam laser because that will reduce the heat output from it, among other things. And we also want to go for a change to the pulse laser, and I'm going to go for a rapid fire. And here you can see what we're looking at. So this is pulse laser, and it will actually rapid fire, so it will increase the rate of fire by somewhere between 17 and 25%. It will also increase the reload time. But unfortunately it will give us a bit of extra jitter and a slight amount of damage reduction. That's damage reduction per hit, I believe, but that's actually made up for by the increased rate of fire. Now we should be able to get to grade 2 hopefully today, or if not very, very soon. Grade 3 might be a little bit more difficult because it's going to take a bit more time to get some of these materials together. What we need is mechanical scrap, and we need some heat dispersion plates. So mechanical scrap, which is used in both the blueprints here. The little tooltip actually tells you where you can go get it, and it's ship salvage from transport ships. So we can get them, we can find those in USS's, in mission rewards as well. And then we're going to have a look at beam laser. Now beam laser also needs a heat dispersion plate. That's on grade 2, as you can see. The pulse laser also needed the heat dispersion plate. But one thing we also need is sulfur. Now sulfur's down on planets. We can also get it from mining, but I'll probably drive around and try and find some of that. So might not be able to get to that in this video. We've already gone hunting for materials before, so we have had a look at that. So where are we going to go to get this mechanical scrap? So we know we need transport ships. There's plenty of places to find that sort of thing. One such place, of course, is in resource extraction sites, but it's rare to find wanted hauler ships or wanted transport ships in those locations. So another location to go to, best of all, are Lawless Systems or Anarchy Systems. In these places, you can attack with impunity whoever you want, but how to find these places? Well, you can use the EDDB website, as I've mentioned in many other videos. There you can locate a system, as I've shown before. In this case, you'll just need to select the security level as Anarchy or Lawless. But there is an in-game way to do that, and we'll have a look at that right here. And the Galaxy map is actually very good for doing that. It's got a number of filters, and one of them in particular will enable you to find the security level of a particular system. So come across to map, and go down here. They've got a number of filters here. Currently I've got star class selected, and we can go to security. And already you can see I've got a Lawless and Anarchy selected by default. A few others will be on, which will include high, medium and low. If you're looking for Lawless and Anarchy, then you want to switch these other ones off, and you can see the little dots, the little bubbles disappearing as I remove these. and it doesn't actually leave many others. Now there is another filter here, sub-filter, which says show by size, population, and if you have this moved up, then you can control the minimum population that you want displayed inside any particular system. But we don't want to use this because it will interfere with what we're actually looking for, so you can actually disable that. And down here you can see the system I'm already in, Aravaldi, and that is an anarchy system. Okay, now generally you'll want a system with a station inside of it, because generally then it means you'll have more likely to have a nav beacon, let's put it that way, because what you're looking for is a nav beacon, so that you can drop out into them. And you'll be able to see that on the galaxy map now. There are a whole load of other dots there as well. Ross 486, LHS 3022, and so on. All of these are, well, the red ones are anarchy. Yellow, if any are actually any present, they would be lawless. But the net result is the same. That's exactly what you're looking for, and that's how to find a anarchy or lawless system using the galaxy map. The idea then to come to one of these nav beacons that are in a lawless system or an anarchy system, in the case of the one we're in here, is to find ships that are lawless. Well, the ships themselves are not lawless, but the security here is actually lawless. It means you're free to attack whatever you want to attack. But that doesn't of course mean that they won't retaliate. Whatever you shoot will shoot back, assuming it's got weapons fitted. And of course it doesn't mean that you should automatically go shooting anything and everything. Ships that are in wings will still respond, as they always do, and they can be deadly, so be very careful if you're in a ship as small as this one. But that said, it does mean you can target any ships, whether they're wanted or not. And in any moment we're just about to drop in here, and what you'll notice is that when we select a ship, there we go, it's a hauler straight away. That's exactly the sort of ship that we want. You'll find that over on the side, or on the left there, it comes up as lawless. Now unfortunately this one is in a wing, so we need to find out who he's in a wing with. He's in a wing with a sidewinder by the looks of it. Ah, now I'm overpowered. What's going on? I've fit too many modules. We need to switch one of these down a bit, I think. What are we going to switch off? What happened is I fit a shield cell bank a little while ago, just before we came out here, and I've gone for one that's a little bit too much energy draining. Decisions. It looks like I'm going to have to turn the shield cell bank off for the moment. Let's switch it off. Okay, hopefully we won't need it. I haven't needed it so far, but you never know. So that's what happens when you don't actually check your outfitting correctly. I thought I'd establish my priorities in the right order, but I was still overpowered by a couple of percent, as you could see there. So what we do then is we'll get rid of the sidewinder first. There we go. Shield's already down, and then we'll be able to take on the hauler. And you can see that they don't stand up for much. They're only small ships, and he is after all harmless. So this is a buddy attacking me. We're going to come round and attack him. You can see all the materials having spewed out now from the sidewinder. This one isn't even putting a dent in the shields at the moment, fortunately for me, and unfortunately for him, he's not even carrying any shields at all. So a pretty brave guy, considering he's trying to defend his friend. He could have just tried to leave, which is what he's trying to do now, but a little bit too late, I think. Let's give him a bit of a nudge there. There we go. Right, so let's see what materials we got. Remember, we're after mechanical scrap and heat dispersion plates. Well, that's his cargo he was carrying. We got mechanical equipment. Oh look, heat dispersion plate. That's one of what we want. So let's get that. The mechanical equipment that I saw, I believe we need for grade 3 as well. So I do want to get that. So hopefully we can get... Oh, that's quite a way away. Now these materials, they don't last forever out in space. They do eventually expire and disappear. So you want to try and collect them as fast as you can. But at the same time, do watch your speed when you're approaching them. Because if you're going too fast, then you're not going to be able to collect them. You need to keep below 40 meters a second. And there we go. We're just coming up on the heat dispersion plate here. Now every time you pick one unit up, you'll actually receive 3 units. So that's a new material because the first time I've actually collected one of them. What else have we got? Mechanical scrap. Probably all the way back where I was just now. Whilst we're here, let's check where that mechanical equipment is. Perhaps it's actually closer than the other bits. Is it not selected? Yep, it's actually right nearby. Okay, so we're going to go for the material equipment then. Mechanical equipment rather. We don't need it for grade 1 or grade 2 of my chosen upgrade, but we do need it for grade 3, so we get it whilst we can. And you'll see the scooping icon on the left will go red if we're going too fast. So we've got to head back over to the other bits and bobs over there then. So we will get some mechanical scrap. Can take a while to get the specific stuff you want. But if you're not too worried and it's low grade items like this, you should be able to accumulate quite a bit in a relatively short amount of time. Overshoot this, going a little bit too fast. Now the thing is that depending on what sort of grade you want will determine how many material you actually need. You do need to roll grade 1 quite a few times in order to unlock grade 2, at least in some cases depending on the engineer. So you will certainly need more materials than just enough to have a single roll. You'll want at least maybe half a dozen rolls, 6 or 7 rolls, perhaps as many as 10, depending on what you're trying to actually achieve. But grade 1 rolls, grade 1 upgrades don't particularly give you much benefit, but they're necessary to get you access to the higher grades. What have we got here? Nothing else left that we actually want, but we won't have the other bits and bobs because you never know when you need them. But do remember, keep an eye out on the amount of slots you've got available, because space is limited, and when you're collecting all sorts of junk, your material inventory does fill up very, very quick. Now I've only got 97 out of 1,000, so we're just fine. Got 6 heat dispersion plates. And what was the other thing we want? Mechanical scrap. Now we've only got 3 of them, so we want a fair bit more of each of them just yet. Let's just make sure there's nothing else left. Right, and let's look for another target then. Now we want cargo vessels, so that's a hauler. Oh, there was one, wasn't there? Did I just see one? There we go. Now maybe this guy is on his own and not in a wing, although he has got a shield, unlike the previous one. You'll notice I'm not messing around too much with my pips at the moment, and that's because these ships are very easy to take down, and I'm not really giving it much thought about attacking them. And he's trying to make a break for it. And we're going to give him a nudge, just like we did before. And there we go, he's gone. Right, let's see what we've got this time. Mineral extractors, a prototype tech, prototype tech. All these are canisters, of course. We want the material. I'm assuming he's got any. Mechanical equipment. Yep, we'll have the mechanical equipment. Now we do keep getting scans detected. Of course, we're in an anarchy system. It's effectively lawless out here. So what that means is there's an unending amount of pirates out here. Well, you're going to get pirates wherever you go, to be perfectly honest. So do watch out for what you're carrying in your cargo hold. Getting a little bit distracted here because I couldn't see the white silhouette against the sun. There we go. Yes, I do watch out what you're carrying in your cargo hold, because if you have got anything there and you come to an area like this, then you're going to be a ripe target for the pirates. They're going to want to try and take whatever it is you're carrying, so much better to actually come here with nothing. I do want some conductive components, not just yet, but I know I need them for another upgrade. Okay, and what else was there? Heat conduction wiring. Yep, we'll have that. So I think this really gives you the idea of what you need to do. Just fly around here and get as much of the stuff as you actually can. We'll be very nearly ready to go and see the dweller after this. And I think we'll leave that for the next video. Gonna go and collect a whole bunch more then. As always, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you guys and girls next time.